Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Comic Book Geezers. I'm your host Pete, my co-host.
I'm Wild Bill, the Unknown Comic. Thanks for being with us.
And as you can see, we have a special guest on today's show, a very old friend of both of ours from way back in the day.
This is Chris.
Chris.
And he's also a Flash fan, and he's visiting us from out of state. So
Long-time fan, first-time visitor.
That's right. St. Augustine, Florida, folks.
Visiting us here in New York.
The ancient city.
So we're talking about
we're talking about the Flash. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Yeah. So the Flash actually, in fact, I didn't know this until a few minutes ago, is actually almost as old a character in the DC canon as Batman and Superman. In fact, he first appeared in 1940, which was within
same year as Batman.
Yeah, so
2 years after Superman.
That's right. So he's been around forever.
Yeah.
And the original identity of the character was Jay Garrick. So he played classic Flash, also a member of the Justice Society of
Those
America.
old, we don't have pictures, but that's the Flash with the
like
helmet.
The saucer,
looked like Mercury.
Yep. So he was the Flash character from 1940 till about the late 50s, and I believe in 1956, character became the modern Flash, which was Barry Allen.
Who was the core members of the Justice Society? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember?
Wonder Woman,
Hawkman, right?
Hawkman.
Was
Batman, Superman.
Was Green Lantern or Flash?
No, Green Lantern wasn't around yet at the time. Was there someone else? Those might be the ones.
Was Plastic Man? I'm going to guess. Was Plastic Man maybe?
I don't think so, no.
Well, here's my oldest Flash.
Yeah, Bill's got a bunch of old Flashes.
This is 161, I think. Yeah. What's that say? 161?
162.
162. Thank you. I don't have my glasses. I'm without glasses.
See what happens when you get old, folks? Blind as
well,
bats.
I lost my pair is what happened. My reading
I think those
glasses.
shades are also
that doesn't help when it's written in black. This one I recently added to my collection. This is the very next issue. This is 163.
That's kind of a cool cover.
This is a story where the people, the citizens, they've been brainwashed and the memory of Flash has been erased from their minds. So that's why he's got to counter like dark magic from the villain, basically, to be remembered.
So for those of you who maybe don't know, and I kind of find that hard to imagine, but the Flash's power is actually his super speed, right? So he can control the Speed Force.
Another one I recently added. Go ahead.
And that's his power. So he's like the fastest man alive, Barry Allen.
He can vibrate for solid.
Can vibrate his power, like if he's actually in a fist fight with a villain, he gets all that speed behind it and whammo. So it's not like he's got super strength, but he uses the power of the Speed Force to his advantage.
This was the oldest in my collection for the longest time when I was a teenager. This right here. This is a 20 center.
So, Bill, you want to talk about? So we're seeing Green Lantern pop up on the top.
Yeah, they had a split, like 2 stories, kind of like Hulk and Submariner. This is issue 224. The Green Lantern didn't have his own book, but he had in the Flash, he was the second story. So basically, you were getting 2 comics for the price of 1 back in the day.
And he was peering all over the place because he was also a member of the Justice League. So
he was two of the founding members of the Justice League.
Yeah, I always loved this cover. This is one of my favorite Flash covers.
So we'll see here. This is Reverse Flash, okay, which is probably the #1 baddie of the Flash,
arch enemy.
Yep.
But in this issue, they're joining forces to go against the Green Lantern, who's a villain in the year 25th century villain.
You're saying Green Lantern, Hal Jordan?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I read these. Right. I don't remember. I have these books. That's why I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm an expert. But this is another great. Captain Cold was another villain, arch nemesis of.
So depending on who you talk to, there are a lot of comic book fans who feel that the Flash's Rogues Gallery of Villains is the best in all of comics. What's your opinion on that? He's got some great ones.
He does have some good. I guess to counterattack that answer would be the Batman villains.
Batman or Spider-Man.
Batman's got the top gallery, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
the Flash has definitely got good contenders. There's some.
Captain Cold, Heatwave, Gorilla Grodd.
These all picked up the recent Comic Cons the past 2 years. Paul, who we jumped behind his desk.
What's up, Paul?
Paul, thank you. Paul hooked me up with some of these.
We know you're watching,
over the years, Paul. Yeah, Paul's a viewer and a subscriber. Thank you, Paul. All right.
So here we've got that. Is that the Green Lantern? That's John Stewart, right?
John Stewart.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. I like the John Stewart character. That is 245.
245.
Supposedly they're going to make a movie with.
This is 252.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A movie?
Yeah,
Green Lantern. With John Stewart.
Yeah,
Okay.
John Stewart,
Yeah, which in the Justice League cartoons, it was always John
Correct.
Stewart.
Yeah.
254.
You got all sorts of villains on that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like Flash is on trial here by the villains, not his peers. This is 256, I believe.
He's in peril there.
Yeah. I picked this up at a flea market. I like that cover.
Make sure you go to your flea markets, folks, because you never know what you find at these places.
262. She's called the Gold Glider. Right? Golden Glider, this female villain. She teams up with the Ringmaster in the next.
Another classic villain.
Yeah, another classic villain of the Flash, the Ringmaster.
There we go. Look at that's a great cover right there.
This is 263.
So what year are we looking at here,
This
Bill?
is probably 1978 or 1979.
Gotcha. Okay.
35 centers?
35 centers,
78, 79.
Flash quit.
This is 264, I believe. Yeah, Flash packing it in. There's I have about 45 Flash issues now. I had basically my collection doubled in the past years.
So basically everything Bill's showing here is with Barry Allen playing the Flash, but in the
265.
80s, in the 80s, the character would change over to Wally West, which was
that was his
Flash.
nephew, right?
Yeah, his nephew. So that was Iris's.
I picked this up recently too. I mean, this is 266.
That's a great one. Captain Cold. No, it's Heatwave. Sorry.
Heatwave.
Yeah.
Now, when I first started collecting comics, Chris is part of this story. I'll tell you, I had some Flash comics, and at the time, Chris moved next door. We were neighbors, and we were kids. We were talking about comics, and when he found out I had comics, he was like, can I borrow your comics? I'd love to read them. I said, sure. So one of them was a Flash, and when I got it back, this was issue 267. So he came back without a corner, as you can see, and I always rag on him to this day about it, because this was like one of my special Flash comics.
Hold it up close, folks.
Yeah, see,
this is what you don't do to
when
your
he
comics.
came back, it was like, "What happened, man? What did you do?" And he was like it was like a normal thing, I guess, for him. He was like, "No big deal," I was like, at the time, what it was issue 267. It had the 50 cents. It was because DC went from 35 to 50 cents in 1 month without notice. No warning.
How do you defend yourself, young man?
In my defense, I was 12 years old.
Yes. I was like 13 or 14. I was like, what did you do?
40 years later, I still haven't heard the end of it.
Here it is.
Just blame it on the dog. Blame it
on the dog. But the other ones, they came back with curved corners too. But this was out of the stack that came back, this was the biggest victim, I guess you could say.
And that was it for my comic bar.
That was it. He was cut off. He was cut off. You don't know how to handle them, man. You were cut off. I was just grateful they weren't greasy fingers.
And I would tell you, I've known both these guys for 30 plus years, and I've heard this story numerous times.
And you know what's ironic? All the Flash comics that I've been buying, I have not found this one. If I would, I would definitely buy it. But it was monumental at the time because, like I said, the DC had jumped to 50 cents, and Marvel stayed at 35, but these books were thicker. And that lasted only about 3 months, and then DC dropped back down to like 40 cents.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. I appreciate it.
About that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's good storytelling. I'm Wild Bill saying thanks again for being here.
Hold on, we're not done. Don't jump.
Really?
Jump in. No, we're going to talk about the modern day Flash.
Oh, man.
So
Well, that's it for the comics.
That's it for the comics. So
actually, just a quick question before we get into that. Do you guys remember the Flash vs. Superman race? It was like one of the big books.
It's Treasury Edition.
It wasn't a Treasury Edition.
And they tied.
They ended in a tie. They always do.
So basically, that extra scene in the Justice League movie was from that then.
Must have been.
Yeah,
It must have been. But
It's
they tied, and I was
kinda
really disappointed because I thought the Flash should have been able to beat Superman.
And it's similar to a cover like this where they're both steaming down the road running, right? But it's Flash and Superman. It's kind of like this kind of an image.
Right.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
in
that
fact,
book
on the Flash
advertised,
show,
but I've never seen it.
Which we're going to talk about in a second. He also does that with Supergirl. In one
Oh
of the
yeah, I
crossover
remember that
episodes,
episode.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Flash should be faster than any
Yes,
of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Superman always gets a pass in my book, and I never really
because
understood
he's the strongest.
whatever, he's strongest.
Strongest,
yes,
better,
they have a
every
fastness
way.
for a reason, right?
Yes.
So anyway, so modern day Flash. So we talked about a lot of like kind of vintage stuff. So those of you who've been following
the TV show,
this is the CW show. Little glare there. This is season 1, which I thought was very, very good. The reason why I like the Flash show so much is it's fun.
Yes.
I wasn't as crazy about the most recent season, but I found the Flash show very good, and they bring in a lot of his classic characters, which is really, really good. It's a fun show.
They follow the classic storylines, like
yeah,
Flashpoint.
They really do.
Thought they did a
Good
job.
segue, my friend. So
yes.
I did want to talk about the Flashpoint. This is the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie that they did, which was based on the Flashpoint kind of storyline in the comics, which was really, really interesting because there they took the whole scenario of the Flash having something bad happen in his life, and he wants to use his speed powers,
to go back in time
to reverse the events, not realizing by doing that he's also reversing the events of those around him.
Yeah.
And so his actions kind of screwed everything up for other people.
Serious repercussions.
Absolutely. So they touched on that
effect, disaster effect.
in the show as well to a good extent. But I think the Flashpoint animated film is fantastic. And if you haven't read the storyline in the comics, which was about a decade ago or so, they have graphic novels, the trades that document the whole Flashpoint storyline. It involves all the members of the Justice League and most of the DC universe as well. So pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's and as far as the Flash for the future, I know Flash was in the recent Justice League film. DC has talked about doing a Flash film as well, but I don't know if that's on hold now.
What did you think of that?
I like the Justice League film.
I didn't like the costume, though.
His costume
looked like the Flash's costume.
Yeah, and you know what I had a hard time with? I really enjoy Grant Geisman's portrayal of him on the show, and I kind of was looking for that.
Right.
And not that Eli, I forget his last name, the actor who plays
him or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I thought he did it fine. Sure. He was quirky and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of
got used to him.
I got used to him. So the DC has done such a great job on their TV characters that when they pop up in the
movies and it's not the same actor, it doesn't have the same.
Like if they were to do a Green Arrow movie,
you'd expect the guy from the show.
Yeah, totally. It's like Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow for me. So I don't know, but. But I thought the movie itself was good. I enjoyed the Justice League film. I think there were a lot of people who panned it for various reasons. I thought it was fun, and it's not as perfect as some of the Marvel films. And I think that's where the problem is. Most people who go to see the Marvel and DC films, the Marvel has stacked the deck so high that it's almost like nothing DC will ever do is going to stand up to it, with the exception of maybe the Wonder Woman film.
Right.
So,
that was good.
If you compare, I know you haven't seen it yet, but if you compare the Justice League
movie.
film to the Avengers movies, like the most recent Avengers film, you guys haven't seen it yet, but there's no comparison.
Okay.
Justice League is fun,
right.
but the Avengers film with Thanos is epic.
Okay.
It's just perfect.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference.
Well, Marvel seems to have worked out a way to blend the humor and the action very seamlessly.
Very well.
DC
Thor Ragnarok.
It feels forced.
It feels forced a little bit, yeah.
Thor Ragnarok had a flow, like what he just said, with the comedy and the action.
Yeah.
And
all their movies, though.
Yeah.
I liked Logan. I recently saw that.
Very good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I
really
enjoyed
good.
that. Yeah, I liked it. So it was good stuff. So anyway, that's our Flash episode, guys.
That is the Flash episode.
It's been a while for us. We've been talking about possibly doing the Speedster for quite a while, so it
and
took him coming to town.
I'm glad I could be here for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, thanks for having you, Chris. And we definitely will do a Flash 2, as I have to do that. This is only half of my collection. At some point, we'll do a part 2. If you guys like this one, we'll get it out there. As always, thanks for being with us. I'm Wild Bill saying thanks for being here from Comic Book Geezers, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, and I'm Pete. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Bye.